Yo, good evening, everybody. What's up, man? You guys doing good? Let's give it a few minutes. Let everybody settle in. We're gonna have a really good live stream, a Sunday end of the week live stream, and kind of wrap up what's been going on, and see what we can figure out. So, like the title says, the first 2 weeks of December is going to be very difficult to get through because there's going to be, I think, some capitulation since many coins are reaching the top already. So welcome everybody. The date is December the 8th. It's a Sunday. We are almost in the last few weeks of the year. So congratulations to every single person if you've made it through 2024, and especially through the bear market in like 2022, and also leading up from like March 14th till just a few months ago, or the beginning of November there. It was a very difficult to get a period to get over. That bear market felt like it was forever, and then once we reached that all-time high again on March the 14th, and we dipped down all the way to the federal elections, that was another very difficult altcoin reckoning season. So now that you guys are here, be proud of yourselves because you put in a tremendous amount of work and effort into learning how to be in crypto, how to weather the storm, how to navigate through this perilous journey, and especially how to extract profits from the market. And this is not a sprint, guys. This is a marathon. It's only beginning. It's far from slowing down. But also understand that during periods of, heavy running up a staircase or periods of heavy sprinting, there is going to be a period of breaks. And it's very important sometimes to take a step back, assess your risk, see how exposed you are in the market, because that euphoria, trust me when I tell you that euphoria is what gets people liquidated. You end up taking on too much leverage, too much risk because you think the market's going to keep going up and up. So always take a step back once in a while, look at how the market is actually trending so you can make better decisions. That's going to help you get through this bull market, extract the most amount of capital, and most importantly, stop giving back all those profits back into the market. So I've been in the crypto game now for about 9 years. This is my third major bull market. I've been through two major bear markets, and what I'm known for is shorting the market. The majority of my profits short term for day trading and scalping is all shorting the market because I like to bet against the market when I feel that it's overextended and I see major signs of it slowing down. So this week period is probably going to be where I'm gonna double the profits that I've made already in the past 30 days because I feel many coins are starting to correct, but at the same time, it's going to provide ample opportunity for you to get in on these altcoins. And I'm going to show you tons of different metrics that's not only going to give you confidence, but hopefully you can also pull the trigger to make a decision on whether you should be adding more to your position or not. I think that it's important to extract profits in three ways in the market. In the very first way, it's going to be your long-term portfolio. This is something you don't ever effing sell, you don't ever touch. You hold long term. You're not allowed to try to buy back a little bit cheaper because you think that the market is taking a dip. Okay, this is hold till the end of the cycle when the bull market is deemed over. When all these indicators are pointing toward the bear market, that's when you exit that long term hold. The second way to extract profits is something that I do, that many of my clients do as well. We take on longer term swing positions where we shave off a little bit of profits here and there. So we're basically swinging for maybe a week or two, shorter term, taking on a little bit more risk than in our portfolio that we hold long term. And the third way is the way that I personally do it the most, which is going to be day trading. So that's where I short the majority of the market. But in my longer term swing holds, I never short a bullish market. I only long a bull market. So let's get into how my performance has been so far in the past 30 days. So in the past 30 days, I've made about $395,000, but I lost $73,000. So overall, I'm still up $325,000 in 30 days of trading only, which is phenomenal. In a bull market, I'll average anywhere between 500,000 to about $1 million every time there's a busy month. This was just the warm-up period because Trump just got elected and I'm still getting used to trading $1 million sizes again. My trading volume is about $39 million and my win rate is about 60%. But the win rate doesn't really count because some days I'm not taking on any trades, but I have a funding fee that I have to pay for. So that actually counts as a losing day, even though I'm not trading. My win rate is more so closer to about 85 to 90%, and I've been consistently doing this for years now. And then my average profit is about $22,000 per day, which is just phenomenal if you think about that. I'm making in 3 days, I'm basically making your, or actually in 2 days, I'm making your average person's yearly salary with just 2 days of trading. And my average loss is very minimal. If you see here, my average losses are about $6,000 when I do lose. So it's very small compared to the average profit that I make. And this is something that you can take away to know that the risk must be managed extremely heavily, because if you don't manage that risk, there's lots of room for liquidation if your greed gets too high. So let's jump right into how Bitcoin, and by the way, I have no big swing positions opened at all right now. The only position I have open is just a fun position that I like to take once in a while because I just am addicted to trading and I just like to be in a position. This is not a position where I expect to make big profits from or take a big loss from. It's more so just something that lets me check in on the market because I just am addicted to trading. This is just a small $25,000 short position on Polkadot because I believe Polkadot could get down to around the $9.30 or 40 cents range again. So I think this is just a very small short-term top. I believe that many coins are reaching already. So Bitcoin is having a tremendous amount of trouble staying above this particular all-time high that we created on March the 22nd. This is incredibly important to understand this concept, okay? So we got here. Now we're trying to stay above it, as you can see. But there's tons and tons of trouble. There's lots of wicks heading to the downside. The original pattern that we saw was this breakout right here. So Bitcoin breaks to the upside in this symmetric type of triangle. And then what ends up happening is it tries to break back to the downside. So you can see it tries to break back down over here. But this pattern where it was creating this symmetric triangle ended up holding it and it bounced out. And now we're getting into this extremely tight pattern where we're unsure of the direction and how it's going to go. So the pattern that we're seeing is something like this right now. It's getting extremely tight, and I believe that something is going to happen most likely very, very soon, where it's going to decide on either an explosive move up or an explosive move down. But I think that this next week till maybe the second week of December, like later in the second week, we're not going to have too much price action for Bitcoin, and it's going to move up and down quite often. Now, this is a period where I've been in Bitcoin since $24,500, and I bought all of my Bitcoins in one single day. I bought 28 Bitcoins, and right now they're valued at a tremendous amount of almost $2.8 million. So because I've already realized the majority of my Bitcoin profits from being in the position for so long, I'm now going to be shedding the majority of my Bitcoin positions and putting it into coins that can yield a higher ROI, such as Ethereum and also altcoin seasons to come. So if you think about me holding on to this $3 million that I have in Bitcoin, if it gets to $200,000, great. I'm doubling 3 million to 6. Sounds great, 3 million to 6. But I don't mind taking on a lot more risk in the market. And because of my experience of 3 bull markets now and 9 years in the market, I'm okay to take the majority of my Bitcoin profits and shift it into a coin that can yield much higher than a 2x ROI. For example, some of my big picks that I'll be moving that Bitcoin into will be Ethereum, because I firmly believe that Ethereum is eventually going to break well above $10,000, giving me a much greater ROI than 3x even. Another coin that I'll be heavily holding is going to be Render. I still believe it has a lot of potential. Superverse, and especially Solana. I believe that Solana has a very high chance to hit that $10,000 level. So instead of just going to 500, which would double my Solana, I would actually end up getting 3 to 4 times more on Solana. So, and a lot of my clients are doing something very similar that I'm advising them as well, which is to realize some of these Bitcoin profits and take on a little bit more risk and move it into a coin that can potentially pump a lot more, yielding us much higher potential ROIs and a better P&L as well. So Bitcoin, I'm not, oh, you guys are not even seeing this. Okay, you guys see the screen. Perfect. Okay, so I don't think Bitcoin is going to make a gigantic move, but what I do believe is that by the end of the year, Bitcoin is most likely to stay at a higher high than the current high that we're at now. If I had to make a wild guess, like I called $100,000 back in when? Back in like maybe even July. I said Bitcoin would hit $100,000 around the election time. I've been incredibly accurate with the majority of my positions so far, and I hope that you guys are seeing this and following it. I believe that Bitcoin's going to finish anywhere between $105,000 to $115,000. And during this time, it's going to be incredibly volatile, even for altcoins. Altcoins will have a tremendous opportunity still, but I believe that many will actually be correcting in the month of December. So I've been trading extremely heavily with my group, guys, like a super amount. And because of that, the majority of the Discord group is making a tremendous amount of profits as well. So just as an example, yesterday I was calling my position for for Theta. So I'm always uploading these types of videos and talking to them through about what I'm gonna do. I give them like a watch list of of my thoughts, even at 3 in the morning. I talk about how I'm evaluating the trade that I'm in now from a risk perspective with Theta. I talk about how I'm waiting for Theta to drop as well. So I'm basically calling almost every single signal and position that I take in my elite tier group. And there's a library of tons of different lessons. This is a huge community, guys. There's over 2,000 members in this community with like-minded goals, just like yourself, who wants to do extremely well in this bull market. And if you want to take your trading to the next level, this elite tier Discord group of mine is the place to be. I make sure that I manage it like my baby. And the most important part of this elite tier is to share my positions while adding a tremendous amount of value to your education. And this is the very final day that you're going to be able to join the elite tier. After that, it closes. I don't care who wants to get in. I don't care what you offer. I'm not going to be stretched too thin. I want to keep the group extremely exclusive. And the next time that people will be able to get into this elite tier will probably be much later next year, because I've already had a tremendous amount of people join. So make sure that you guys take a look at the link below. This is the very last day that you're going to get access to my elite tier. So there's a 60% off sale right now. You're going to get access to the elite tier trading group of mine for 6 months. Philakone's course version 3.0, Mastering the Day Trading Markets. That's a 20-hour course that's going to teach everything that I know. You're also going to get access to this advanced volatility scanner of mine. Speaking of that, the advanced volatility scanner is the best indicator out on the market that's going to tell you what you should be trading that day and how the market conditions are trending. So it's got 4 columns that highlights green based off of the parameters that I set. If it moves 5% in 5% in how long? 2 hours, the first column highlights green. If it moves 10% in 4 hours, the second column highlights green. If it moves 15% in 24 hours, the third column highlights green. And if it moves 20% in 48 hours, the last column highlights green. So you could just imagine that if there's not a lot of coins being highlighted green right now, then you just know that the market is not the best conditions to be trading right now. So looking at this chart, you see that, all right, the market is not that great. So when you first jump on the computer every single day, this should be the first thing you look at. It tells you the conditions of the market. Second thing that it tells you is which coins are volatile and which ones should earn your attention and which ones you should gravitate to right away. So looking here, what you're going to see is that sushi and 1000X are extremely volatile today because all four of these columns are highlighted green. So you're going to basically go to your trading view. You're going to add it to your watch list. So add sushi to your watch list and also add 1000X to your watch list as well. So you see that these guys are, was it 1000X or 1000X EC? 1000X, alrighty. So these guys are incredibly volatile, and this is the coin that you should be trading today. So you see that sushi ends up making a parabolic move to the upside, and it's still continuing to the upside. It's doing thousands of percent, well, not thousands, but hundreds of percent. So the next step would be to try to identify where the next resistances could be and if you can actually get in on this trade. So sushi should be brought to your attention and you should be trading sushi today. The second one would be 1000X. This coin ended up dropping about 10% so far, but nevertheless, it should be brought to your attention. So guys, my Black Friday special basically that I'm extending, it also comes with this advanced volatility scanner. So it's normally 1150 to join, but right now it's on sale for 450. So come join me in it, guys. You guys are going to catch a tremendous amount of trades. You're going to see how busy it is. It's always so busy, this Discord group. I manage it extremely well and try to answer a lot of these questions. So another thing we're going to take a look at, guys. So I hope to see a lot of you guys in my group, all right? Another thing we're going to look at is how the Bitcoin dominance, it needs to be respected and understood. Okay, we're going to point out a key few metrics that you guys will be like, wow, this is crazy coincidental every time. So every time the bull market year begins, so we expect 2025 to be the bull market, right? 2017 was the last bull market, and you can see that in 2017, this is where the Bitcoin dominance started to drop significantly. And that's where altcoin season began. Okay, so the beginning of the year in 2017, Bitcoin dominance drops. Now, the same thing happened. People were anticipating, wow, what if the same thing happens in 2021, right? We can see the same thing happening. Near the December, January 2021, when it begins, you see the Bitcoin dominance drop significantly and the altcoin season begins. And what you're seeing right now is a very similar trend where it's near the end of the year, it's leading to the beginning of the bull market year, and we're seeing that the dominance is dropping as well. So usually you would think that, okay, well, what's going to happen next to the total 3 market cap or the total 2? So let me show you this, okay? The way that the money moves in crypto is that when Bitcoin realizes massive profits and the dominance is too high, people want to bet on the sure thing. And Bitcoin is, of course, a store of value. Bitcoin is going to be one of the largest asset classes in the world, and it's not even a company. Bitcoin is so transparent. You can't fake anything on the blockchain, right? You can't hide the money like in Federal Reserves or print more money. It's non-inflationary. So because of, I'm not going to talk about the reasons why Bitcoin is awesome, but Bitcoin is here to stay. So people want to bet on Bitcoin first of all when it's starting to pick up. They don't want to take chances on alts. They want to bet on Bitcoin on the sure thing, especially with the spot ETFs like IBIT, for example, and institutions that are not going to let Bitcoin fall. That is why the Bitcoin dominance goes up tremendously and why altcoin seasons haven't really began yet. So then what happens is people actually realize their profits for Bitcoin, that then retail starts to get involved as well, right? They're going to start buying other asset classes, other coins like Ethereum, like altcoins. So it moves from Bitcoin to Bitcoin dominance dropping to an altcoin season. And how can I prove this? Is there any proof in any way at all that this is true? So this is the beginning. This is now the total 2 crypto market cap. The total 2 crypto market cap refers to all of the market cap except for Bitcoin. So it's basically crypto market cap minus Bitcoin. And you can see at the beginning of 2017, this right here is where the bull market began for the alt season. So you can see that it's actually moved up a tremendous amount, okay? So you can see that it begins in January. This is also when Bitcoin dominance drops. So this is the total 3 market cap, and look how it ends up going. It ends up going literally parabolic to the upside. So that's proof right there that when Bitcoin ends up dropping in Bitcoin dominance, and then in the new year, the altcoin season always begins. So the altcoin season did 67,000%. Okay, that's from the beginning of 2017. Now you got to say to yourself, it can't just be, that easy. Could it happen again in 2021? And if it does happen, well, it can't be that easy, right? Well, if you take a look at the beginning, this is right here is when Bitcoin dominance starts to drop. But take a look at this. The altcoin crypto market cap ends up going up a tremendous amount. It goes up by 572%. And it doesn't just finish there, it ends up finishing over here. So this is where Bitcoin dominance started to drop. Around May, this is where Bitcoin dominance dropped significantly in 2021. So what you're seeing is that in May of 2021, that's where Bitcoin dominance ended up reaching a bottom, right? And then we went sideways for a while and did nothing. But that's also coincidentally the same moment after the sideways trend when Bitcoin dominance does nothing, that the market cap for total 2, it still ends up increasing another 183%. So what we have to remember firmly is that the altcoin season is still around the corner. We're starting to see the altcoin season pick up significantly already, and I expect this to continue to the upside. So what we're seeing is that the total 2 market cap and the total 3 market cap hasn't actually broken above all-time highs yet. So the total 3 market cap is truly the altcoin market cap. What you can see is that it's right at the resistance, and once this gets broken, I expect it to fly to the moon. I expect this to do at least another 2x or 3x, and the frenzy phase, it hasn't even begun yet. Christian, the reason I have a funding fee is because I'm swinging my positions for a few days in the futures account. So for example, if I'm swinging long for like 2 weeks, right? Yeah, sure, I might be in profit, but because I'm not realizing any of those profits that day, I'm still being charged the funding fee, which counts as a negative profit. I hope that makes sense. No, I do not think that the Bitcoin dominance will rise again. This is done. The majority of all analysts will all agree on the same thing, that the trend is literally becoming the exact same cycle as it was in 2017 and also in 2021. So I've just proven to you guys how Bitcoin pricing works relative to the Bitcoin dominance and also the market cap as well for total 2 and total 3. So there are many coins that are correcting right now, just so you guys know, okay? And I don't expect this to go up anytime soon. I expect 2025 for altcoins, most of them are going to be stagnant now. I expect altcoin seasons to pick up tremendously after correction is over. And I can easily see this and prove it in many ways. Most coins are now in a 5-wave correction. This is a clear 5 waves with, for example, a bearishly diverging MACD. That was one of the best performers, DOT, that ended up doing 220%, okay? And also other coins are finding some massive resistances, and it doesn't look like it's gonna break up anytime soon this particular year. So you can see a high, for example, in Solana, and that's a pretty established one. And some of the ones that are still running are Superverse, okay? Superverse is now at $1.60. I expect this coin to keep running for a little bit. It's one of my top gainers. I also expect Render to hit a resistance, which it actually did at $12. This is the all-time high for Render. I expect to get back into a very solid Render position fairly soon. It's already dropped about 13%. And if you take a look at some of the big coins that have been moving already, okay, let's take a look at coins, for example, like Theta. This coin moved a tremendous amount, but it doesn't look really that much different than many other coins that I've seen, where this coin has now made pretty much, I'm not sure what the exact count is. It could even be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, or maybe it's even down over here. But what I do know is that it's following the same recipe as DOT, which is a MACD crossover. In fact, some other coins are not even making a fifth wave that's solid. In fact, they ended up truncating instead because the third wave was too parabolic. So we see that on H bar, which was a top gainer, these utility type tokens are the ones that are dominating, like H bar, Cardano, and ADA, XLM, right? XVG, as well, XRP. So the utility tokens are doing really well. You can see coins like H bar just taking a big correction now. So it wouldn't be wise, in my opinion, to start stacking for your positions long term quite yet. I would recommend to DCA and give it a little bit more time. And then you also see other coins like XRP that's actually extremely struggling to make a fifth wave. So instead of making a fifth wave that breaks out, it barely makes a fifth wave over here, right? So far, at least from what we see. We see some coins like XLM do the exact same thing. The fifth wave doesn't actually parabolically move to the upside or even break above the third wave. So there's many opportunities to get in coins like XLM very soon around the 41-cent range. Cardano is most likely getting into a fifth wave correction sometime soon. You're starting to see the bearishly diverging RSI nature very, very hard. And then you take a look at a coin like XVG. Maybe there's one more wave to the upside, but most likely not, because I believe that XVG did something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 already with barely a breakout. So there's a lot of coins out there right now that are showing a lot of weakness. Some have retraced more than others already. For example, on XLM, it ended up reaching the fifth wave well before other coins. So XLM reached it on December the 2nd, for example, whereas Cardano reached it a little bit later. So some coins are also reaching the support levels faster than others. For example, XLM is reaching 41 cents soon. XRP is still in the middle of maybe a correction coming up. So as wise, or as much as I would like to buy more altcoins right now, it doesn't make more sense for me to get into the market very heavy right now. This first and second week of December is going to be weathered through the storm. I don't think there's much that you can do. I think it's very important for yourself to limit the exposure that you have in the market. Be happy with the majority of gains that you made already. Take a step back from the market so you can evaluate very heavily where the current market conditions stand. And from my perspective, it looks more like we're in a correction right now than we are going to keep going for a very long time. And as much as people don't want to see the short-term trend, right, which is okay, because I understand that we're looking on the macro picture, on the big picture, where Bitcoin's going to get to, 150, 200,000. Ethereum is going to end up getting to like $10,000. So if you're holding, sure, it doesn't affect you really short term, as long as you can withstand this type of volatility. But for the short-term people that are day trading, that are swing trading, or even newer investors that have a lot of trouble handling this short-term volatility, there's going to be a little bit of pain, in my opinion, in these 2 weeks to come. But by the time the year finishes, it's most likely going to be a great time. But I just don't want to see a massive altcoin reckoning first before we start this big bull run. So if that happens, you've got to safeguard yourself from being in tremendously large positions, especially if you're leveraged and you have a chance to be liquidated. So it's Sunday night. I have to head out for dinner, guys. And I wanted to make sure I gave you a very detailed update because it's very important for me to give you my thoughts from someone in the market that has been here for 9 years now, 3 major bull markets, 2 major bear markets, a few $1 million later. I started in my parents' basement, guys, with $2,000 to my name when I was in my early 30s. And I was so broke, I was like borrowing money from my parents. I was asking them for like $1 or $2 just so I can save up $10 to go buy like some marijuana or cigarettes or some beer. And then fast forward 9 years now, I'm living in a multi-million-dollar house. I own another $1 million house. I paid for my parents' mortgage as well. I could fly business class anywhere in the world. But more importantly, I'm here to help you guys realize your dreams and reach your financial goals by giving you unbiased and unfiltered advice, because I truly want to see people succeed. When you get to a certain point of making enough profits to have all of the basic needs met. For example, like, a home, having food, helping out your family, gets to a point where it just becomes a passion, and the biggest thing that you can do is seeing other people succeed as well. So I hope to see a tremendous amount of you in my elite tier Discord group. And many people have always asked me, and I'm very honest about this, if I'm doing so well, why do I sell content? And the truth is because my content is so valuable. I respect the hard work that I put in, and it's a direct reflection of my 9 years of experience in the market that's reflected in the price. I truly believe that if something is of great content and value, it should never be given away for free. Not only that, I'm worth it, and I want to provide you with something with even more value given back to you. So I hope to see a lot of you guys in my elite tier Discord group. I hope to see a lot of you guys in my courses. Let's get this together. Try to weather this storm in the next week or two that's coming, and I think that we're going to lead into a very beautiful season. So have yourselves a great night, everybody. Thank you very much for watching me. Enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you in the next trade.